Hi, we're reviewing the study guide in preparation for our 1.1 through 1.5 assessment. So in this, I'm going to be going over the answers to your study guide. You can check them, submit them, and all that good stuff, starting with atoms, ions, and molecules. So atoms are composed of three parts: protons, neutrons, and electrons. And the electrons are found in orbitals or energy levels surrounding the nucleus. And it's important to consider that everything is made of atoms, anything that has mass and takes up space. And there are different types of bonds that can form. Covalent bonds share valence electrons in those outer energy levels, and ionic bonds donate and accept valence electrons. Moving forward, some properties of water include hydrogen bonding. Specifically, hydrogen bonding is a attraction, if you will, a stickiness between little areas of positive and little areas of negative. In this image here, this is our water molecule. Here is that negative area. Here is that positive area. And I know it says draw, but I just copied and pasted. If anybody wants to get creative and draw, that's awesome. Water is considered to be polar because the hydrogen atoms have that slightly positive charge and oxygen has that slightly negative charge. And it may come up, or you may have noticed that oil and water don't mix, and that's because this concept that like dissolves like. Water is polar, oils are nonpolar, so water dissolves other polar substances, oils get dissolved by other nonpolar substances. A solute gets dissolved while a solvent, does the dissolving. So for example, water is the universal solvent. pH is a scale that measures the hydrogen ion concentration, the acidity or basicity of a particular substance. So here I looked up a pH scale, and if you zoom in, vinegar is 3, pure water 7, and bleach 13 on the pH scale. A low pH refers to an acid, so the lower numbers are acids, and then a high pH refers to a base. Okay. Moving forward, carbon-based molecules. So we're looking at the answers presented in kind of like this yellow color. A monomer is kind of a little piece or a subunit of a polymer. A polymer is a large molecule made of many monomers. There are 4 types of biomolecules: carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids, and they contain carbon. That's why another name for a biomolecule is a carbon-based molecule. In terms of examples, you could write a bunch of different things. I put an example of carbohydrate would be bread, lipids, oil, proteins, enzymes, nucleic acids, DNA. The monomers for carbohydrates: glucose, lipids, fatty acid, protein, amino acid, and then nucleic acids is a nucleotide. Sorry about that. I grabbed an image. This is a monosaccharide, but this would be an example of a carbohydrate. Here we have a fatty acid. Notice it's carbons and hydrogens. And in terms of function, carbohydrates are short-term energy storage, just one of the functions. There are a couple different functions. Lipids, long-term energy storage. They're also found in cell membrane structure. Proteins have a large variety of functions. They can act as enzymes, for instance, provide structure, support in hair and nails. And then in terms of nucleic acids serve as genetic information and make proteins. Moving on to chemical reactions. A chemical reaction is when there's an interaction that causes a chemical to change into a new substance. In an endothermic reaction, energy is stored or absorbed, and in an exothermic reaction, energy is released. Last but not least, enzymes. Enzymes are biological catalysts that speed up chemical reactions. They do this by lowering activation energy. A substrate is essentially a reactant. It is what the enzyme binds to. And in terms of the graph itself, a enzyme lowers that activation energy, and temperature and pH affect an enzyme's ability to function. They can actually, changes in temperature or pH can cause the enzyme to denature or break apart. I hope that was helpful. Thank you.